Hello, Jesse Good here, and I've been looking for the worst LEGO sets of all time, and the next ones on my radar are the LEGO Ben 10 sets. This one that I'm reviewing today is Humongosaur. He has 14 pieces, and he retailed for $15 in the United States. I picked this one in particular because everybody was saying Humongosaur is probably the ugliest and worst of the line. So let's see if it really is one of the worst sets. So here is the Humongosaur figure. You can see he is a construction-based LEGO build, so he does use the same system as, say, Hero Factory or Bionicle. The back looks very hollow and it looks very bad in my opinion. The front looks really odd, and I'll take a closer look at that later on what I mean by that. And you can see his size is actually pretty good for a $15 LEGO set. Just compare him to the size of a regular minifigure and you can see that he's about 7 or 8 times the size of that. So I think for the value for his size it's pretty good, but the parts they use are only 14. Like I said, these sets from Ben 10 use very specialized pieces, and you can see that indication with this top kind of area right here, his neck and his head. His head mold, one specialized piece, and that just attaches to this diagonal body right here. And then this rubbery kind of weird neck mold and shoulder mold just slips on. It doesn't even like stick on, it just slips on like that, and then you slide in his head, and you're supposed to get it to attach just like that. And it's not awful, actually. I would expect me to not like this more, but I don't think it's awful. The thing I don't like, though, is that his mouth is always opened, and they have this weird black right here, which looks more like, I mean, like the dimensions of it, it's supposed to be like this is just his open mouth inside, but it just looks like it's black with white painted on, which it's not even that because it's actually raised. It's a little bit of a raised molding right there. So I don't know if that looks really good, and that limits the poses you could do, and I think that limits the playability in my opinion. And with these arms right here, they're always clenched like he's about to punch somebody. And that, again, limits the poses and what you could really do. This is more of like a battling figure, one that you would want to hold and punch stuff with. But I think once you get past that, that's really its only purpose, and it's not something that looks good on display. So the ability to pose this guy is non-existent because just about every pose I tried looks awful. His legs are too lanky, as his arms are too long. His pieces are too hollow, so you can't really put him in many poses. Like if you want to put his fist up or whatever, you could just see right through those arms. This is really something that is just meant for a little kid, just to play around with, grabbing him by the waist. But then again, there's no play features. There's just pieces that you could use your imagination to play around with. And that's just a big fault of this set. I do appreciate some of the printed pieces, like this middle part right here and this top part, but there's just no display ability factor to this. And if you want to take it apart, there's not much you could do since a lot of the pieces are specialized and there's so little pieces. So it's just really a big failure as a whole, and I don't like how the back looks at all either, but I do appreciate this whole tail here. So that's it for the whole build of this guy, and then we'll go on to the box and the final verdict. I knew I was going to forget this, but the center piece is actually glow in the dark, just that little symbol in the center, but it's very, very, very hard to see, and I don't say it's effective really whatsoever. The same goes with the eyes as well. So here's the box of the set. I actually do like the look of the box, at least. Here's the instruction manual, which has advertisements of the other sets and combiner models, as well as advertisements for the much better value Bionicle Stars sets from 2010. So overall, this is one of the ugliest sets of all time. But is it one of the worst sets of all time? Probably. I just think that this is something that is really limited to just play. It doesn't look good on its own. It uses very specialized pieces, so you can't make it into something else, or you would have to really try hard to make it into something else. And it's hard to put it in its own scenes because really there's only 5 other Ben 10 sets, and I don't think any of them are enemies, so you don't have much that you could fight with it. So I don't think it's good in any of those aspects except playability, and then I think the price is terrible. 15 bucks for only 14 pieces is really sad considering the Bionicle Star stuff, which was half the price, had about more pieces than this. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think this is a bad value, a bad set for anything other than little kids playing with. And it's good that it was easy to put together for the little kids, but it's just not good for anything other than that. Also, the back looks awful. So that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yes, it is one of the worst. It'll probably be on my list, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.